Welcome back to the Will List Podcast. How you guys doing, ladies and gentlemen? I forgot to put my graphics up. My apologies. Let me get that taken care of right now. Pretty much. You did. Okay. We got it. We're good. All right. Yeah, tonight's show, as you can see, is about self-love show. Because we have a lot of haters, a lot of haters. And to have self-love, you have to have an actual very specific mindset. You have to be tuned in to yourself every day. Down to your diet, your intake, uh, how you how how you're gonna orchestrate your day. You have to have all that planned out when you arise in the morning. That's if you're about your business. It's about who you are and what you are. You know how to do one thing. That's how to get your day started and have a very profitable, pivotal day that's going to make a difference in your life. Regardless of how hard it is, if you got obstacles is what you live for. You live to overcome obstacles. So I don't understand why people always get it within their minds that your position, your days, or how you want to live your life, no day is going to be very easy, or no day is going to be, you know, they shouldn't be alike. Your days are sometimes my days are so redundant. I have to make them interesting. You have to make your days interesting by getting things accomplished. That's like it's therapy, you know, to accomplish things, to know that that's a check in the box. That's something. There's always a way or a mechanism for you to move forward, or use an apparatus in order for you to move forward in life. Yeah, man, I tell you, when I get on here, these lights, my eyes get a little sensitive. I get used to them. Again, it just does. It just they make my eyes water sometimes. But anyway, back to the show, man. Listen, self love has a lot of different characteristics, a lot of different variables. Okay, and those variables have to do with what your characteristics withhold. I talked about this a time ago, but some things I got to bring back up. It's about, as I use myself for an example, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a lot of things. So just because you have these specific titles, what do they mean to you? Or what do the titles that people have to you mean to you? Get it? So when you practice self love, there are a lot of exchanges that you will not have with people. You got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to figure yourself out, because a lot of times, when you have these exchanges with people, you want to, that exchange becomes a blame. Nobody wants to play the blame game. When you get to a certain point in life, there's no blame. It's just you. So when you're dealing with the ability to dissect your situations, God damn, no, you didn't. When you have the ability to dissect your situations, when you have the ability to look at a situation as for face value, and that shit means a lot. It means a lot looking at a situation for face value, because when you're seeing something for face value, you get to take it all in, but that doesn't mean you get to leave it as that. When you take it for face value, you get to dive in a little piece at a time. And that's when you're deconstructing your faults, when you're deconstructing your habits, when you're deconstructing if you're successful or not with whatever you're trying to foster. because it all has to do with you. Digging into those intricacies and realizing how to make certain uh, things, like you got to tweak certain things in your life to get to the next level. You can't always think, "Oh, I got it figured out." Oh, well, shit. If I keep doing this, well, guess what? It alters. It changes again. Uh, It changes again. So within those pivotal changes, you have to understand that maybe it's you that have to upgrade your firmware, just like you got to do that in computers. You have to do that in these operating systems. So what about your operation? It's a lot of times, we wake up in the morning, follow me. We wake up in the morning, you have your day planned out. But did you accomplish the goals that you set out to accomplish when your day ends? Most of the time I do, or I'm getting to the next phase of it. But that's what we want to talk about, that next phase of it. See, a lot of that's out of your hands. As long as the ball is not in your corner, as long as you're not holding the hot potato, as long as the task is not on you, you have to complete your part of the task. That's when you are able to exchange with the person, even within communication. It's the same ordeal. You have to complete your part of the task. And if you don't complete your part of the task, that means everybody lags. There's a lag in that, in that specific um, orchestration. Man, I tell you, I need my wipes. Yeah. My eyelashes, shaking in my eye. It's getting on my nerves, buddy. Excuse me, my peoples. Excuse me, peeps. Yes, man. All right. Making my eyes water and shit. All right. So again, with characteristics, you have to find the value in those characteristics so that you can meet that criteria. But again, when we're talking about connections, everybody has to function as a unit in order for those connections to meet. That's why when you're not focusing on the whole or you're not focusing on other people, when you're focusing on just yourself, I think things naturally start to um, mature. That's just time. Time allows things to develop sometimes, just time. Uh, you can't always brutally force or make people do or force a situation. All you can do is be responsible for what you're responsible for. And you have to let it go after that. Because as long as you know you have crossed your T's and dotted your I's and you have distributed the proper uh, information that can be exchangeable, that's what's important. Being able to do that. So there is tomorrow. Yeah, man. Tomorrow. So when tomorrow does come and you have the blessings of receiving tomorrow, you have to put another foot forward and you have to have a plan. So you have to understand the repetition in that. It's a delicacy. It means your brain has to be operating daily in order to orchestrate your next day. That's people that have plans, man. Some people, I don't know if you feel me on that, but that has everything to do with self-love. It has everything to do with how you're even able to exchange with people. Everything. These just the little intricate details that you have to understand. That has everything to do with self-love. Even with how you present yourself. Do you go to work in the morning? If repetition is not valuable or important when you go to work in the morning, or you got to go into the office, or even when you have to just be in your space within your work stratosphere, right? So you mean to tell me you're not habitual enough to brush your teeth, wash your face, Get yourself in a mood, exercise, get yourself in a go mode, get yourself in a way of positioning yourself in order to deal with your day. See, it starts there. And I know that some of y'all going, it's also about a bowel movement. You know, that's how you know you're not going to be irritated when you got, when you've raised your blood, you raise your, what they call it, your heart rate. You have to raise your heart rate, raise your heart rate, drink water in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like these are self-love tactics to get you up and ready to go at it in the morning because a lot of people don't even have a good digestive tract. That's very important. Do you drink a lot of water? I'm telling you, I reversed it and went back intricate to how you need to see yourself when you deal with yourself, even in the delicate ways that you deal with yourself, even in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, let's go in reverse. We wake up in the morning. Do you put warm water in your body or something? You know, some people wake up in the morning, first thing they want to do is smoke a cigarette. Some people want to take a shot. That's crazy. In the morning, your body is going through a process of waking up just like you're waking up. Everything's going on internal as well. So you don't want to do detrimental things. You want to ease up in the morning. You don't want to shock yourself, just like you want to ease yourself to bed. You don't want to fall out comatose, from being drunk or, being exhausted. You want to ease into your night, just like you want to ease up in the morning. So when you ease up, you get a chance to have enough time to think. When you go to bed at night, you have enough time to what? Reflect. When you have enough time to reflect, you have enough time to ease yourself to sleep because you're supposed to settle your thoughts. And even if you need help settling your thoughts, that's when you get you an easy workout, an easy stretch, and ease yourself to sleep just to get your energy to dissipate so that you can get a good rest. But you always got to do one thing, raise that heart rate when it's necessary. That helps you resolve things. Even push-ups are good for either male or female. But these are the things you ease things in by raising your heart rate and settling yourself back down. It's an easy, soft reset. That's what you do. So when you get up in the morning, you ease yourself into a workout. Some people go for a walk. Some people go for a run. Some people drink coffee. See, the one thing about easing yourself up is your body is at a pivotal state. It's flexible enough because you got your popping and stuff going on, so you're moving and you're going on. But you also got to put some energy and effort in, again, raising your heart rate. That's all self-love involves when you're easing into your day to make your brain actually functions differently when your blood is pumping. And these are just physical attributes that you have that translate into your mental mind capacity. You can think clearer, you get hydrated, you walk into your day. If you think about um, you start up an engine, the only way the human brain can conceptualize how to start an engine, either if you push a button or turn a key. You only can the human creations are only the conceptualization of themselves outward. Everything we do, we're creating tools and instruments that will give us a more specific outcome. See, this is not a new concept. This is an old concept. Only in Western philosophical perspectives to where you would never see anything like this. Never. You also never see anything like this. Never. You'll never see any of these type of this type of information. The reason why you'll never see this type of information because they won't even let you know they were the first badges of bombers with that persuasion. They don't like when I show this book, but it's necessary Very necessary. We're going to get into it one day. This is not that show, but it does have some connotations that I want to go into with this book and what it really entails about Barbary captivity narratives used to portray African Barbary, just as accounts to Indian captives conjured portrays of Indian savagery, as well as the critique of slavery in America, work more often associated with the traditional American slavery narrative, suggesting that uh, semiotic plasticity of the Barbary narrative and the interconnections among these three genres. This book right here is something else. I mean, it has a lot. It has so many nuances, things that you didn't even know what was going down. So it's so many different variables and tales and nuances in history that you'll never discover unless people had that pen to write. They had that pen and they told the truth. And we could have been so much more further along if it wasn't for agendas of the idiosyncrasies of people in the world. Just like with the affairs of West Africa, the Fulani in Nigeria, the king of Gober took many of the cows. The Fula said nothing. He returned again to seize their cows. But the Fulas said, "It is right on us to take vengeance." But the king of Gober took some of their own cows and returned to leave their place and return to some of their places near me. They're fighting within them with 1,000 horses, soldiers, and seized the phallus, but they drove him back with great force. See, I hate to really get into these affairs of West Africa because it shows how divided these nations are today. They are so we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to get right into this because this show has to do with self-love and this book is not about that at all. It's about strategy and the pistivity of being pissed off and lost. Because when you actually sign documents in order for things to have taken place on that continent, that's pretty that's pretty rough. It's pretty they did a number on Africa. They really did a solid number on Africa. And it's in the treachery of it is mentally right now today. So and if you think about the actual behaviors of how they even function today, it has to do with I'm not shitting on Africa. I'm just saying how they form deals with people and they formulate these different contracts and they don't follow through with the actual construction, with the infrastructure. And that's why there are so many infrastructural failures across all of even developed Africa. Look at Akon City. Akon City is a futuristic cast on a plot of land with nothing else there because of the ability to scam, reap millions, and not have to do a damn thing because there's no government that's going to hold people accountable for theft and robbery that exists. And luckily, I don't know, we're trying to fight for it here. We're trying to fight for that to even be able to be a thing right here in America. Because America, we used to be able to say that at one point in time, you can hold people accountable in this one country why people come here because of the judicial system. But our judicial system is in, I'm not going to get political because my shows get flagged for that. So I want to stay away from that. What we want to focus on is how we avoid even being political at all, especially when you're focused on the fruits of what you have to do for yourself. Now, Do I think those that have a knack for wanting to get into politics with a good heart, good nature, a good way about themselves suit you? You know, do what you have to do. I think that's great. But I also do think and understand that all American citizens shall have some type of form of ideology or some type of form of mindset to where you should really think and appreciate how to have the ability to find out information, to figure things out for yourself. There's a plethora of information that you can figure things out for yourself. Be careful with your internal. Be careful with your external. What you take in, your external. Well, I call it the outside influences. Be careful about your outside influences, but you have the ability. This is the information age, it's the age of Aquarius. What I do is I provide information. I don't try to give you. I try to give you facts. I do share my opinion about some things, but the show is to make you think about how you should be effective in the possible apparatuses that you can use that are within yourself and how you can enhance those specific qualities that you have within yourself. That's what this show is about. This show is about understanding what's going on the outside, interpreting it to where you can either defend yourself, sidestep the bullshit, and keep pivoting your way towards success. Because there's a lot of bullshit out here. There's a lot of bullshit people out here. And they're gonna be out here. And they're gonna also um, they also want to be in your space and in your way. Because they want to figure out what you know. So you have to keep certain people at bay. But those that are, people that dig you and people that you dig, you always want to be in a position to exchange with that person. You can learn something from them. And when you're exchanging with people and you're learning from people, then you have a better chance at being successful with relationships with people. Everything is a practice, and this world is still a stage. You still have to perform. You can get out here and rah complain out there about anything, but you still have to make money. You still have to have a way of life. You still have to, figure out a way how to be effective in life. You know, without pissing the wrong people off too. Sometimes, because there is a such thing. There's no value in being unintelligent, but there is value in being brave and standing on your two for what you believe in and what you know. But you have to be effective in this world, and you have to be able to affect change on a multitude of spaces and ways. And if you don't understand that concept, that means, you just want to stay in a bubble, but you have to enhance yourself as much as you can and learn valuable lessons as they come to you and keep it moving. It doesn't put you in a position to paralyze yourself and be stopped and still. You keep moving forward and keep learning and let people see you grow. At one point in time, even on this show I'm still getting better. I'm still trying to get better. I'm still confident in myself to know I can get better and do better. So that's why I keep continuing to do the show. It's like therapy. It's something that you feel as if you can have a conversation and be at peace with your decisions. Talking to you is it's like talking in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? So how fluid could you be with yourself? Or how authentic can you be with yourself, and how honest can you be with yourself as well, even in front of other people? That's why people have gimmicks. That's why they always relying on something to attract. Well, I try to be as authentic as possible. And through my experiences, what I know, what I digest, what I read, what I discover, and how I orchestrate my life, I hope that's entertaining to people. I hope people dig that, because I dig them too. But there's a plethora of things to learn, and I wanted to share another book with you today. It's called this one right here. It's that one right there, Becoming Supernatural. This book is about alignment. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely about a lot of self-love. And there's another book. It's another couple of books I wanted to share with you too. That's that one. And there is the Kabbalion. This one over here. This is one of my this is one of my spiritual biblical Bibles. This is what I like to call this. You know, this is one of the most mightiest pieces of work that you can understand how to change the format of your brain and how your mind thinks. This is the Kabbalion. The introduction. Yeah, this is awesome by Richard Smalley. But I'll read you something out of here. I can see what you agree with this. Or if not, just take these as a lesson. It's the 7 Hermetic principles. The principles of truth in 7. He who knows these understandings possess the magic key before whose touch all the doors of the temple fly open, the Kabbalion. So check this out. The 7 Hermetic principles upon which the entire Hermetic philosophy is based as it follows. The principle of mentalism, the principle of correspondence, the principle of vibration, the principle of polarity, the principle of rhythm, the principle of cause and effect, and the principle of gender, ones and zeros. Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's get into that. First, the first principle, the principle of mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is mental. The principle embodies the truth that all is mind and explains the all, which is substantial reality underlying all the outward manifestations and appearances, which we know under the terms of the material universe. The phenomena of life, matter, energy, and in short, all that is apparent to our material senses is spirit, which itself is unknowable and undefinable, by which may be considered a thought of an universal, infinite, living mind. I'm going to leave you with that one. So let's get to the second one. I'm not done with that. I just want y'all to think about these parables real quick. This is the principle of correspondence. Now check this out. As above, so below. As below, so above. The principle embodies the truth that there is always a correspondence between the law of phenomena and the various planes of being and life. The old Hermetic axiom ran in words as above, so below, and as below, so above. And the grasping of the principle gives one the means of solving many dark paradoxes and hidden secrets of nature. 3. The principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Check this out. The principle embodies the truth that everything is motion, everything vibrates, nothing is at rest. Facts which modern science endorses, and which, that is, with each new life, scientific discovery tends to verify. And yet this Hermetic. Oh, shit. That's my fault. On vibrate. There it is. Everything vibrates. Okay. Yet this Hermetic principle was enunciated thousands of years ago in the master of ancient Egypt. The principle explains that the differences between manifestation and matter, energy, mind, and even spirit result largely from the varying rates of vibration, and the all of which is pure spirit, down to the grossest form of matter. It all vibrates. At a high vibration, the highest position is the scale. Let's go to 4. The principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has pair of opposites. Like the unlike and the same opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extreme meets. All truths are but half truths. all paradoxes may be reconciled. All right, check this out. This principle embodies the true. Everything is dual, everything is two poles, everything has a pair of opposites, on all of which old Hermetic axioms. To explain the old paradoxes that have perplexed so many, which have been stated as follows. Thesis and antithesis are identical in nature, but different in degree. Opposites are the same, differing only in degree. The pair of opposites may be reconciled. Extreme meets, extremes meet, and everything in is and isn't at the same time. All truths are both half truths. Every truth is half false, and there are two sides to everything. Let's get to the next principle. The principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swings, manifesting everything. The measure of the swing is the measure of the swing to the left, and rhythm compensates. Check this out. The principle embodies the truth of everything there is manifested in measure, motion, to and fro and infro, a swing backward, forward, pendulum, like movement, the tide like ebb, flow, high tide, low tide, between the two poles, which exist in accordance with the principle of polarity, describes the moment again. Damn, ain't that right? That back and forth, that ebb and flow, that moment again. There is always an action and a reaction, the advance and a retreat, the rising and the sinking. I'll let y'all ponder on that one. Let's go to the sixth principle, the principle of cause and effect. Cause. Every cause has an effect. Every effect has a cause. Everything happens in accordance of law. Chance is but the name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causations, but nothing escapes the law. Now check this out. The principle embodies the fact that there is a cause of every effect, the effect of every cause. It explains that everything happens in accordance to law, and nothing ever merely happens. That there is no such thing as chance. That while there are various planes of cause and effect, a higher dominating the lower planes, still nothing ever entirely escapes the law. The Hermeticist understands the law of method of rising above the ordinary planes of cause and effect in certain degrees, but by mentally rising to a higher plane, they become causier instead of effect. The masses of people are carrying along, obedient to environment. Don't this sound familiar? The wills and desires of others stronger than themselves. Oh, evidently suggestions other outward causes moving them about like pawns on a chessboard of life. But the masters rising to the plane above dominate their moods, characters, qualities, and powers, as well as their environment surroundings them, and become movers instead of pawns. Damn. Now, don't that some ain't that some psycho shit going on over and over again? We talking cause and effect, and them understanding how to manipulate the masses, strongly manipulate the masses in order to even dictate the cause and effect of how you would behave, because you are the masses. You can either be a part of the masses or an individual thinker. Let's go to the principle of gender. 7. Gender is everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifestation on all planes. The principle embodies the truth that there is gender. Manifestation is everything. The masculine and feminine principles ever at work. This is true not only in the physical plane, but of the mental and even the spiritual planes. On the physical plane, the principle manifests as sex. On a higher planes, it takes higher form, but the principle is ever the same. No creation, physical, mental, spiritual, is possible without the principle. An understanding of its laws will throw light on many a subject that has perplexed the mind of men. The principle of gender works ever in direction of generation, regeneration, and creation. Everything and every person contains the two elements of principle, of the great principle. Within it, him and her, even male things, has the female element. Also, every female contains also the male principle. If you would understand the philosophy of mental and spiritual creation, generation, and regeneration, you must understand the study of Hermetic principles. Okay, masculine and feminine. Ever. That means beyond generation, regeneration, and creation. Those are the principles of the Kabbalion. Yes, that's why I tell you this is my hey. It's a wonderful book. It's awesome. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's one of my Bibles. Yeah, it's my Bible. It's true. It's a hell of a lot to understand. It's a hell of a lot to understand when it comes to how long we've been here, the principles that we had to, you know, abide by, cherish. You know, some commandments aren't meant to be kept; they're sacred. So you have to defend. So a lot of times, depending on the circumstances and situations, you have to be in defense. When it comes to the principles of yourself, I'm an American Indian. You know, some people are FBAs. I identify with what every people of my people identify with, but I'm an American Indian. So defense is something that we must have to and shall develop at all times. Develop your defenses as well. And what I mean by developing your defenses, I mean not in a way of trying to hurt anyone else. I'm defending everything of who you are and your family and the people around you, and also defend your mindset, defend your mind state, because the attack right now is absolutely mental. You have to defend and the only way you can defend is by defend your mindset and defend your mind state. The only way you can defend that is by doing what? Strengthening that too. I can read all of these books to you all day, but these are the things that I do. You got to do it for yourself too. I can show you the books of how to read. I can show you what to read. I can give you references. I can give you all of these things, but these are things that we have to do for ourselves. That defenses, and then we also have to. I know I have to do a better job of what you would call fellowship. I have to do a better job of fellowship. I want to get into the school systems. I want to get into making doing more commentary with other YouTube creators. I want to get into that. I want to be on other people's shows. I want people to come on my show. I want people to send me a request if they want to come on the show. Go to the willispodcast.com and check out the website, but also send me an email at the willispodcast@gmail.com. That is my official email address where I can receive, I check my email. So if you want to do some collaboration, that's where I will respond to. You can go to the website and get that information as well. The willispodcast.com, and you can and hit me on my email too, the willispodcast@gmail.com. We're also going to get to a space where we can going to take calls. We're going to take people are going to be able to call in, and that's going to be, let me check my chat, because I gotta start getting my chat open too. Oh, what's up? What's up, man? Yeah, I gotta start showing my chat. I gotta do that. I gotta start being um more uh yeah, I gotta be more tangible, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, I gotta start getting the chat. I gotta make it smaller though. Let me hide it back there anyway. Yeah, so I gotta do a better job of gotta do a better job of you know, opening my chat up, letting people in on the show, call ins, all of that's coming. I'm about to start doing that pretty soon too. So people can call in. It's gonna be the number's gonna be I think is people gonna be able to call in. I think I got the number though. It's on the website. Yeah, let me see if it's on the website because I can. Let me just look right now. Check the website. Yep, it should be on the website. At the bottom, we got to get the Google. Yeah, that's the Google number. So yeah, 404-860-2664. 404-860-2664. That's gonna be the call in number. When we're gonna take calls, and I think it's gonna be embedded in somehow. I got to make sure that API is plugged into or whatever. It's a lot of work, man. I had to do a lot of back end work. Um, it's a lot of ways to reach people to make sure that I'm meeting my goals. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into this creation thing. It's a lot goes into understanding. You got a lot of haters. You see, I told you, I talked about the hate. I talked about haters, but haven't really addressed the haters. The haters are worthless. I tell you that. Yeah, the haters are worthless. Let me check. Let me make sure my volume is on too. Let me make sure my volume is good. Check my damn. Let me check my show out while I'm bucking off. Make sure. Wait a minute. My volume is on. Yeah, it's on. It's up. I ain't got no problems. Just had to make sure the show was playing like it's supposed to or whatever. Yeah, man. So yeah, let's get to the haters. Haters are always going to be pathetic, pitiful ass souls. That's how they get down. It's funny how people wake up and the only thing that they can do is think about how to be destructive to someone else. But the only way to avoid haters is to treat them like what they are. Confront them. They're cowards mostly. Yeah, they are. See, like the thing is, I found out it's a great deal of people on the planet that has never fucking grown up. I promise you, they have never developed, not mentally at all. And this is pretty important because it's true. It's so goddamn true to where it's like you have adults, they have temper tantrums like children. They hadn't. I mean, if you think about, it's not just the president of the United States right now, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, it's also, a great deal of adult children. They never develop, like never. Um, if you think about eating habits, some people want to do the right thing, but they say, "Well, I don't like the taste of that." I'm like, what the fuck are you, a child? You a child? Or I wanna work out, but I don't like the way I feel afterwards. I want to work out, but I feel bad. Or I want to eat healthy, but the bad shit tastes so good. Um, I don't know, man. These people and these people are not in their teens or 20s, and they're in their 50s and 60s, and they say, I just well, If I can't stop drinking Coca-Cola every day, I would just, well, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, you're gonna be unalive. If you just these things are gonna happen to you. Self-love, the only way you can love yourself, a lot of people think you think you're loving yourself, but look at how you feed yourself. See, a lot of times, you want to talk about a lot of haters, but what if you're the biggest hater of yourself by how you treat yourself? Yeah, that ice cream may taste good, but do you understand it got to come out? Fuck. Do you do you consciously go to the doctor to get a checkup to uh, really take the advice and carry your life forward, making a change? Like, do you really do that? Uh, when you're, it's nothing wrong being childlike when it comes to the state of learning and maturing and developing yourself and reaching different levels of spirituality, education, growth. Some people really do, and they're older. The older they get, they never stop growing. They never stop developing. They never stop maturing, or either. I think the proper word is development. Development is never ending. You can never stop being cognitively inclined. In some ways, if you stay cognitively inclined, it enhances the older you get. So that's why I tell you it's very important to practice the exercises. Reading is an exercise. It's extremely pleasurable, but it's also a mental exercise mentally. But when it comes to working out, um, it's hard at first. But if you put your mind to it, you will embrace the challenge because your body will yearn for it. Think about when you get older. Think about when you start feeling like you're on the decline, and if you just get active and go to being mobile, increase that heart rate, things start changing for you. And but you have to be repetitious about it. When you love yourself and appreciate yourself, you will continue to be repetitious about your health. Because I've seen people, and they're on TV all the time. They started working out when they was 55. When they're 70, they're in greater shape than they were when they was in their damn 30s. It happens all the time. They slowly and habitually practice things over and over again. And even if it hurts, they get addicted to those healthy habits. That's a positive thing to become, to be start. Some people work out at 55. I've been working out my whole life, but you think about those folks that say, I just got addicted to it. I just got happy with doing it. You got people running marathons at 60 years old. That's impressive. But it takes a mindset, the ability to love yourself, to keep moving and stop being your own hater. Sometimes you're your biggest hater. For real. You're the biggest reason why you're unsuccessful. You're the biggest reason why that you don't have what you want or have the things that you desire, because you refuse to fight for them. You refuse to give it your best shot because you keep giving up on yourself. I think you should stop giving up on yourself and start being more habitual about what you want. Practicing repetition. You have to do it. It's you see, the Willis podcast, it's not easy to come on every night, but I practice repetition. And I try to give you something positive, something that's going to move you forward, and something to look forward to. So you have to create, recreate, and renew. You got to keep it moving. You got to keep these things, orchestrating possibly uh, as much as they can in your life, as much as you can practice something habitually that's going to improve you. Keep doing it. It may seem a little rusty and hard at first, but I guarantee you keep on practicing. You're gonna love it. You can get better at that. You're gonna be that habitual behavior will turn into mastery. That's the show tonight. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much for tuning in. Happy Monday. Yeah, we got the rest of the week to go. So I gave you something to motivate you on. Hey, Start your week off strong. Keep it strong. Practice some self-love. Don't be your own hater. So I'm talking about, you got a lot of haters, but don't be your biggest hater. Gotta change that around. You gotta love yourself a whole hell of a lot more than what you do. And you can do it too. Just lay off the bad and get on to something positive, something good. Just lay a little off the bad shit. I mean everything. The shit that's bad mentally, the shit don't feed the unproductive shit. Lay off the unproductive shit. And get to being productive. I love you guys. I appreciate you for tuning into the Wheelers Podcast. Thank you so much. I love you again. Why don't you share, like, subscribe? Keep looking at these long versions too, man. I appreciate y'all. Goddamn. Look at the long versions of the show. Go back and look at my other shows. Just like them. Subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button. Damn. Smash up that like button. Smash up the like button. Smash up the like button. Goddamn. But anyway, I love you guys. Appreciate you anyway. Thank you for tuning in. It's Willis Podcast. And come on, say it with me. The wheel is yours. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back at you tomorrow. I'll let you. Peace. Be easy. All right.